All right, here we are talking about NaNoWriMo. I'm looking for updating my totals, where I select what I've written so far. I go to word count, so 1,144 words. So then I can go to yours might be a little different. This is the real one, but you might go to the young writers one, and it would be very much the same, where you can go up and you can just update your word count, 1,144, right? Lamo. Yep. So that's just a way. Remember, this NaNoWriMo is not for writing your story. This is just for getting some inspiration from it, as well as recording just your numbers. What have you written so far? If you're going to be writing it, there are a couple places you can go online to write it, but again, a Google Doc is going to work just as good. Just make sure that you kind of keep track of where things start and where things stop. You might leave yourself some notes. Okay, the most important thing to remember for writing is just write. At least this is what I need to work on. When I first started, I constantly was getting distracted by, let me look up, what amendment it could be that, they would cite for making it so school is not mandatory, or I drew a little something. Okay, here's society, right? They're going to be in this fortress, and all these, barbarians are going to be around them. I started thinking about, okay, what would have to happen in society for this to happen, and then kind of comparing this to a zombie apocalypse. Things are going to be all broken down and run down, like you see in a zombie apocalypse movie, but it's not going to be zombies, right? It's just that they don't fix anything up and that kind of stuff. All right. So then I started thinking about the different characters that were going to be in the story. Now I will tell you, the least amount of characters that you can make it work for are good. I've heard a couple of you talking about how you're going to be like, I'm going to have these 10 people go out and have this adventure. Well, writing and coming up with 10 different people who talk a little bit differently with all a bunch of different attitudes, that's going to be really tricky. If you're going to have a group go out and do something, make it 2, right? 1 is a little bit tricky because they don't have anybody to talk to. 2 is pretty good because then, you can have them talk back and forth to each other. You can have one crazy, kooky-eyed one, and you can have one that's a little bit more calm, follows the rules kind of thing. But again, be thinking about your characters, what kind of characters you want, and eliminate any characters that you don't need. Mine's a little tricky because they're going to be going to school, and I've got these 2 different groups of people, but I'm going to try to keep those minor characters out of my story as much as possible, because the more I include them in my story, the more complicated it's going to get. And for right now, I don't need complicated. All right, so my main character, her name is Emma. I just chose one of my daughter's names. I'm probably going to change this later on, but I didn't want to get stuck on what the name was going to be. Again, if you can't think of a name, just label them like character 1, character 2, because then what you can do is you can go up here and you could find and replace, and you could find character 1. Right, where did I put character 1? Oh, look, there it is. There's only one time in there, and then I can just replace it with, the name of the character. So again, just showing you how easy it is to totally change a whole character story. Even if you've written, 20 or 30 pages, you can go through and change every single time you use that character 1 in your story. So again, and here I am just wasting my time away not writing. So remember, if you've got a great idea, go ahead and start writing. Just kind of keep those things in mind, that you're not writing if you're not writing. Wait, that didn't sound like I meant for it to sound. But the whole idea is that you're not working on your writing if you're not actually writing it. You need to plan sometimes, but don't substitute that for actual actual writing. Okay, she's now dressed up in the kind of school uniform, so that she can move around a little bit. Um, okay. Um, Not wishy-washy. What's another good word for bringing on the being? I can't even spell tongue. Curses. Tongue you. All right, so I'm thinking that this their fortifications are intentionally weak on the outside to let them break in. But when they break in, they're very controlled on where they can go. So I'm thinking I used to call it false storage, but I think I'm gonna change it to garbage. Where they throw their trash out in here, so that if the raiders break in, they're trying to steal stuff. They just get the leftover garbage, broken stuff that nobody could ever use. And they have places down below where they break through the doors and things, where there's some food down there. It's just some of their old nasty food that they don't want anymore. To kind of so they figure if they could break in and they think that they're stealing stuff, that they won't get any more violent or try to get the good stuff. So that's kind of what my thought process is here. But I'm still trying to think of how this conversation is going to go. Why is this boy out? If it's off limits, he must be like the hall monitor or something. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I can just imagine what this is going to be like, right? We already talked about the nooses, that is one of the ways that you can die out in the wild. So I can imagine, right? She's sitting there, she's like transfixed by his braying laugh, and then he's slipping that over her head, and he's gonna tighten it up. And I can just, oh man, oh she's totally gonna kick him where it hurts. Oh, she totally is. Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay. Um, how am I gonna write that? Oh, because I want it to be funny. All right. Oh, this right. Sense. All right. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Keep writing your stories, and watch for more streams that come out here. Just write.